Welcome in, everybody. It is 2 o'clock on a Monday here in the Bullpen. I'm Tony Mack. That's Tricky Ricky. We're live here at Toyota Field in Madison, where we had not one, not two, but three baseball games over the weekend. And it was baseball. Nothing really of note coming out of the Rocket City here.
You probably didn't even know we had a game if you weren't here, huh?
Yeah, I'm sure you've never – if you watched ESPN, followed The Athletic, Yahoo Sports.
If you've ever heard of sports in general.
You probably heard about what happened here this weekend, which we will get to. And we'll get to everything else that happened this weekend as well, like the Masters. I think there were some spring games this weekend as well.
I'm not saying that.
I'm not going to say that comment.
I'm not going to say that comment.
Once we get to the stories, I will read those comments.
I'm not reading that.
Those are funny.
That's not fun. I don't like that. I don't enjoy that.
At this point, you just got to laugh at what happened and enjoy it because, what else are you going to do at this point? It's over with. It can't hurt you anymore.
That's the right way to think about it. You're not going to hurt me anymore.
That's right. We had somebody bring it up in like the first inning of Game 2. And, hey, it's in the past, man. Can we let those things go? It's just stop living back there.
Yeah.
Okay?
So what?
Well, it was a pretty good weekend. The Trash Pandas did get on the board a 1-2 start to the season, so they dropped 2 games this weekend. Had no business dropping one of those games. Again, going to get to the details and kind of where we all were when that happened, and then when the aftermath happened and everything blew in. But we do have a Masters winner as well. John Rahm won the Masters. There are some notable stories and some funny things that I'd like to discuss out of that. We had a couple A-Day games this weekend. I know that Auburn.
I did not know that.
I only know that because people were making fun of Auburn's attendance at theirs, and it was gross this weekend. I mean, everybody knows. Like we were sitting here all day fielding questions and calls about if we were going to play on Saturday because we postponed Friday's game due to weather, and it was supposed to be a doubleheader on Saturday, and it rained all day, basically leading up into the first game until about gates open, until about 2:30. So people calling in, "Is it going to happen? Are you sure it's going to happen? Sure it's going to happen?" We plan on playing because the weather says we're going to get a break, and we did. We got 2 good 7-inning games in on Saturday, in which the Trash Pandas went 1-1. But the Auburn thing, people were making fun of their attendance because they announced a certain number, and then you looked at the crowd, and it's like 10 people, like legitimately maybe 10 people out there in the crowd when they announced like 16,000. So
I've been stuck in the panda vortex, as I like to call it, man. I had no idea that the 8A games were this weekend, and I saw about a half round of the Masters on Sunday. I'm sitting at home Sunday, I'm like, man, I wish there was some sports or something on. And then it hit me like Rahm and Koepka are on the 7th green. I'm like, oh my God, it's the Masters, man.
It took you until the 7th green?
Dude, they had already finished I had a round and a half of golf on Sunday, first day off in like 3 weeks. I'm like, man, I'm going to savor it. And I slept till about 11, and my brain just totally restart. The panda vortex whipped around and sucked all knowledge of the Masters out of my head until I got to see like 12 really good holes.
Yeah, just to put into perspective what time it would have been when Ricky realized that they were playing. You're talking about being on the 7th green. Brooks Koepka and John Rahm teed off for the final round at like 2 p.m. So you're deep into the afternoon before you realized the Masters was on.
I know. I was bummed too, and I was wearing a Masters T-shirt, oddly enough, and it wasn't enough to trigger me.
You didn't wake up, put it on, and go, "Oh, I get to watch this today."
I woke up, and I was like, I was groggy. I was just showing you how many steps I put in on a game day. This ain't no walk in the park. All right, there's a lot of movement. I was pretty tired, and so I just grab a shirt, I throw it on, and then I looked down at one point because I think I spilled something on it. I was like, oh no, oh hey, the Masters are on.
We got a few people in here now, so let's go in and break down the first thing, and that would be what happened this weekend. We talked to you a little bit on Friday about what happened on Thursday. The Trash Pandas dropped the opener in extra innings. We did not end up having a game on Friday because it got postponed due to weather, and then we moved into Saturday where we had a double header. The first game of that double header, you had, was it Coleman Crow that was on the mound that dealt for 6 innings.
Filth.
6 no-hit shutout innings. The Trash Pandas had hit a 3-run home run to go up 3-0 a couple innings earlier.
Kyron Paris with the oppo shot.
That's right. So going into the 7th inning, the final inning of the first, because doubleheaders are now 7 innings. Going into the final inning, the Trash Pandas are up 3-0. And then Ben Joyce comes in to finish what Coleman Crow started, is what I said on Twitter.
The fireballer.
No, fireman. You want to sing a song this time? He can't. To say he was a little rusty is an accurate way to put it.
I wouldn't say that.
Dude
got within one pitch at ending the game.
He wasn't wild, but he couldn't find the strike zone early. He walked 4 guys.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, you're right. I mean, he did load the bases.
He walked 4 guys. He recorded a couple outs in between there. I think there was like an infield fly that he recorded. He did strike a guy out. Walked in a run, got himself into a little bit of trouble. So it's 3-1, and then he's finally starting to throw it over the plate. And then finally, mercifully, I mean, we're sitting here, this game's humming along. We're like, this is finally about to end. Deep fly ball into center field. Jeremiah Jackson was playing up a little bit. You might be thinking, Jeremiah Jackson in center field? Yeah, he was moved to the outfield for that game. He's playing a little shallow. He retreats, but he gets back under it long enough to where he has time to kind of camp and put his glove up. Falls right through it. Someone forgot to give him his real glove. There was a hole in that one. It went right.
Dude, that's not funny.
It went right through.
No, I'm not laughing.
3 runs scored. The Trash Pandas
I hope
down.
they come upstairs and beat you up.
I'm not making fun of them.
I don't like that.
I'm trying to sympathize with
I don't like that. I don't like that one. But look, my man was playing very shallow. He was borderline playing second base.
No, I don't like that.
He was very, very shallow. All right.
He's going to come up here and
look,
beat you up.
All right, look. That umpire behind the plate.
That's the real villain here.
Whiffed on the final strike of the game.
Yeah.
Ben Joyce threw one at 217 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Into the glove, which did not move, which, by the way, every time he throws a ball and it's caught, it just makes a different noise than everyone else. It's insane. Bam! Should have been game. Catcher's already out. Ben Joyce already off the mound. Umpire forgets how to say strike.
And then you hear
What'd you think? I mean, you saw the pitch. It was a beaut.
We were celebrating, and then we got the replay on the monitor. So I watched the pitch live, so I'm looking behind the catcher, and it looked really, really good. I'm thinking, what is this guy looking at? Then we get the monitor replay, which is what you would see on TV. And, I mean, I don't know how that's not a strike in any world, that's not strike 3. But it's not strike 3, so Ben Joyce has to pitch to him again. And you get the fly ball in center field, and you're thinking, oh, my God. We got out of it. It's going to be 3-1. No hits, but the walks were crazy. Good job getting out of it. But Jeremiah Jackson drops the ball. A bad error. Unfortunate error happens out there in center field. 3-run score. The Lookouts take the lead 4-3, and you're thinking, oh, and then here comes Coleman Crow. Or, excuse me, not Coleman Crow. He started the game. Here comes Eric Torres. Eric Torres, the 2020 – I mean, we just honored him on Thursday as the 2022 Southern League Reliever of the Year. The guy is good. He's coming in, you're thinking, okay – It's not what we wanted. We're down a run now. We came in up 3.
Stop the bleeding. Right?
Yeah, let's stop the bleeding, get out of here. Maybe we can score a run and come back and force extras or win this one, which we should anyway. So Eric Torres comes in, plunks the first batter. You're thinking, oh, all right.
I kind of liked it, personally.
You got room to put him on there because the base is cleared on the air. So you're like, okay, all right. Pitches a couple more to the next guy, plunks the second guy. You're thinking, oh, okay.
Kind of like that one, too. I was like, all right, we're going to play a physical type of baseball right now.
All right, so maybe my expectations of a strikeout or something aren't there. Maybe we get a ground out or something to first base in this thing.
Yep.
Third batter comes up, plunks the third guy in a row. You're thinking, Yikes.
I'm thinking this is going to turn into a brawl here soon. This is bold.
I can't even remember. You know what? To be honest with you, I know there was a wild pitch involved somewhere. I don't even remember who threw it. I don't remember if it was Torres or Ben Joyce who threw the wild pitch.
I don't remember either.
But there was a wild pitch involved too that scored somebody, and then he hit he walked a guy, and then he hit a fourth batter, and then he struck the last guy out. So the Trash Pandas headed to the bottom of the seventh inning, down 7-3 with no hits, giving no hits up. And scored 2 runs, tried to make a valiant effort at it. Fell short, and they lost the game. So to recap, entered the top of the 7th inning, the final inning of the doubleheader, entered that one of Game 1, up 3-0. 4 Ben Joyce walks, a Jeremiah Jackson error in center field, 4 hit batters from Eric Torres, and a walk from Eric Torres, plus a wild pitch somewhere in there. Scored 7 runs. So there was no hits allowed, and a lot of people like to think, well, how does that happen? It's either got to be a lot of errors, walks, or whatever. It was just walks and hit by pitches. There was 1 error.
But the error scored 3 runs.
Well, the error scored 3 runs, but it wasn't like 3 errors or anything like that. And the fact that it all happened in 1 inning.
With 2 outs with the bases loaded, a very high fly ball. Yeah, everything was so unfortunate. I mean, you started off with the ump missing the final strike of the game. And every time there's a situation like that, you know something's going to go wrong. It feels like anytime, like someone fouls a ball into foul territory and a guy's got an easy catch and then he drops it, and then it gives the batter one more pitch. It feels like that batter always hits a home run or does something to create damage. That
happened in a Major League Baseball game this year already.
It feels like it happens every time. If you ever have one little error where you give a batter or something one extra opportunity, it feels like that batter, I don't know what it is, they cash in on that opportunity more often than not. And that's exactly what happened here. I mean, umpire misses the clear strike 3. The fans turn on him. Ben Joyce has already kind of turned his head off a little bit. He's already walked off the mound a couple steps. Edgar Cuero, he's already walked off a little bit. Now they got to now we got to get right back. Here we go. And he still gets a pop-up. But Jeremiah Jackson was playing very shallow. And to run, I mean, the ball is directly over his head. You know that Willie Mays catch that, running like this over the shoulder? I mean, Jeremiah was having to run directly under this thing as it curves. I can't believe he even got under the ball to begin with. But then to get all the way under it, he does have a couple seconds, and it hits the glove. And I went like this. I looked away. I was up at the suite level with some people. Yeah, let's go. And then someone went, ah! And I'm like, I don't know. Why would someone make that noise? And then I realized it hit the ground. And then, of course, everyone just surrender Cobra stance.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, no, oh, no,
right to it.
oh, no.
I did the same.
And then it kept going. And then we still get a couple more runs in the bottom of the 7th, and Jeremiah Jackson gets up to the plate as the possible winning run. Like, could you imagine if he'd have made that error and then got to the plate and walked it off with an 8-7 win, no hitter, where you give up 7 runs? It's truly. I was speechless for about 15 minutes after the game. Baseball is a game where you see some weird things sometimes, and we saw some weird things, and I know we saw some weird things because it was on every sports page on the internet in like 5 minutes. My phone nearly exploded during Game 2 of that doubleheader from people who don't even live in this area going, what is this?
Yeah.
7 runs, no hitter? Okay.
And I'll kind of get to what that led to in a minute, but I was up here in the press box when it happened, and I know what it turned into, but at the time it was 3-1, and it was 3 no-hit inning, or it was a no-hitter that the Trash Pandas were throwing, even though I don't think no-hitters count in 7-inning games, so it was technically just 7 no-hit innings. But that ball goes up in the air at 3-1. It turned into 7-3, but it goes up in the air at 3-1, and you're thinking like, finally, because I mean you're talking about how fast this game was going, and then you have that the walks, and then you walked in a run and all this, so you're thinking, finally. So we stood up. I mean, we're getting ready to have a big sigh of relief here in the press box. We're like, yes, and then he drops it. And
Did you think it was going to be a hit off the bat? I did. I thought it was going to land in center field. I didn't think there was a chance to even get under the thing.
As soon as it went up, now I think we had a good view of
you
Jeremiah
can't be
and how
much
running.
More shallow in center field than they were, too.
It came off the bat, and just I guess the pace he was moving, I had confidence that he was at least going to make a play at the ball. Like, I'm like, okay, he's going to have a shot at it. I didn't realize he was going to be able to settle under it for like a second before he did. He got under it, and then it fell, and it was unbelievable. But before that pitch, again, we know what it turned into for Ben Joyce. It turned into 4 runs, but when it was 3-1 and he doesn't get that strike, the pitch before the ball goes out there, he doesn't get that strike. You know he's got to be thinking going back to the mound. Yeah, I mean, how can it get much worse than this? How can it get worse than this right here? Yeah. That was strike 3. It's ball game, and then it got way worse.
I feel bad for our guys, man.
I do too.
You know, like when you mess up at work, it stinks just to mess up and have the people you work with know. But then when you mess up at work and like the whole world knows like 5 minutes later, that's brutal, man.
And you have to go back out and play again.
And then you got game 2, which I was worried about it, like, because I was in a fog for 15 minutes afterwards. I'm talking to fans, all this stuff. They're like, what just happened? And I'm like, yeah, you know, I couldn't even create anything. But I wasn't thinking. I'm like, I hope this doesn't linger into game 2, because you could very easily. I mean, I was in that tunnel as everyone was walking off in between games. And, you know, not a little sour in there. And that can carry over, man. That can carry over mentally for a long time for some people.
Oh, absolutely.
And so the fact that they were able to come out of their game 2, get a win, go into the final inning with a 3-0 lead just like they did hours before and close it out, it's good to see, man. Resilient.
I was in a place where I thought that second game was going to go one of 2 ways, both of them which were going to take an obscene amount of time. Like, I thought we were going to get a really long game 2 because we were either just going to get bushwhacked or they were going to come out with their heads on fire. I thought we were going to beat them like 16-1 in game 2. I thought
really?
It was about to get
I was
ugly.
afraid it was going to be the other way. I'm like, oh, man, now they're going to put a little too much pressure on themselves. This is going to linger. This might be rough.
But there was no bigger sight for sore eyes than Sam Bachman in game 2.
Yo, you can't.
Oh, man.
The whole box score of game number 1 completely overshadowed the stellar starting pitching we got in game 1 and game 2. Coleman Crowe with his 6 innings and no-hit baseball. Sam Bachman with 9 strikeouts in 5 innings. Those dudes look good.
It reminds me, and I'm forgetting the first pitcher because we're so far removed from it. We're almost 2 years removed from it now. But we, for whatever reason, on weekend doubleheaders here, we get some good pitching. I remember our first Father's Day here. It was Reed Detmers in the second game, maybe Kai Bush in the first game. But we had unbelievable Father's Day doubleheader pitching in that game too. It was like a combined like 2-run game or so. It was unreal. And then we had that one where Coleman Crowe again. The guy that I feel worse for, because I mean, yes, I feel bad for Ben Joyce, of course. I feel bad for Eric Torres. I feel bad for Jeremiah Jackson. But they did put themselves in that position, right? I feel bad for Coleman Crowe. He pitched an amazing 6 innings and has 0 to show for it.
Yeah, it's got to be tough.
So
what do you do with that baseball? You know, because afterwards I saw in the clubhouse they boxed up those baseballs as the no-hitter baseballs, and it's like, where do you put those?
I don't. Would you want to keep that?
Look, I'm going to be honest. There's a lot of games in a season. Of course, we weren't on the winning side, but I think with time, you know, it's going to be a story. I don't know, though. Is that really a story you want to tell? No. What do you do with that? I don't know.
This isn't going away. I mean, this will be here for a long time. Especially like even if the season does go like it did last year in the regular season, the Trash Pandas come out and win the first and the second half. We're gonna love going. Me and you anyway. You're gonna love going back and talking about this. Remember, you know, see how good it turned out or whatever. But what's gonna be rough is next homestand. The players are going to come back here after playing 6 other games, washing that game away from their memory. Aaron, our media guy, is going to get us a player to come on one of the podcasts. He said starting the next homestand, we'll start to get some players up here. And you know somebody's going to want to ask him a question about that. The comments are going to say that or something. They're not going to want to talk about that game. That game's they're going to have played 6 or 7 because of the second doubleheader, second game of the doubleheader. They're going to have played 7 games by the time we get a player on next time. But, I mean, people are still going to want to hear about it from them. So
it's game 2 in April.
It's going to wait.
You know?
Yeah.
That's what I kept. There was one of our season ticket holders who just kept telling me, like, it's on ESPN now. He kept giving me the updates. All the different places that were picking up the story. And all I'd say is championships are not won in April, folks. Okay? You know, you got a bunch of guys been playing baseball in Arizona. They come on out to Alabama. It's 40 to 50 degrees outside. All right, acclimation process. That's just the human body, Tony Mack. You can look that up. That's in books. That's been printed. So I'm a fight. I'm gonna fight for my Panthers all day. All right, that's science, folks.
I didn't add up how many strikeouts we had in total this weekend. I know that we struck out 23 times, but we also struck them out 19 times on opening day. And then during those two doubleheaders, I mean, Bachman had 9 in that game at least, and then I think we total had like 11 or 12 in just game 2 alone in 7 innings. And then I mean, Coleman Crowe had quite a few too. So I mean, the pitching staff minus the game 2 in April is a good one, especially the starting pitching staff. We've had some phenomenal starting pitching. Our first 3 games, you talk about, I don't know how many hits were given up in that. I'm not talking about when it went to extras, but who started for us game
Mason
1?
Erla.
Mason Erla. Mason Erla didn't give up too many hits in
No,
that game, maybe a couple.
had...
And then you had Coleman Crowe go out and throw 6 no-hit innings, and then you had Sam Bachman give up a meaningless double in like the 2nd inning. In game 2. I mean, our starting pitching is phenomenal. This is still a really good baseball team. The bats are going to wake up, which we had our first 2 home runs for the Pandas, like you mentioned, Kyron Paris in game 1, Orlando Martinez in game 2. So it's going to be fine. But that was definitely a wild one until it gets fine, like until we start racking up wins. We got to wear that one for a while. But, hey, here's the positive that came out of this thing, right? Like, I looked down, and we had 13 minutes between the final score, the final score read that I did, and the reads for game 2. 13 minutes. And in that 13 minutes, I looked down, and Barstool had already shared a video about it. I got a notification that The Athletic had already done a story on it. And then during game 2, I see the Yahoo story. ESPN has put it up, and it eventually ended up on like main ESPN. It ended up on their Instagram. It ended up everywhere on ESPN. And you know what's cool about that for the Trash Panda brand is I looked under the first video I saw was the Barstool video. That was the first people I saw carry it. And I clicked on the comments to see what people were saying. For every comment talking about how embarrassing it was or anything like that, there were 10 comments for every one of those saying, whoa, there's a team named the Trash Pandas? Whoa, yeah. You're bearing the lead. There's a team called the Trash Pandas? That brought so much awareness to our team and our brand.
You know that saying, there's no such thing as bad press?
That applies big time here.
We were the beneficiary of that one, dude.
For sure.
The online team store went bananas Saturday after that game from everyone figuring out who the Trash Pandas were. Not the way you necessarily want.
Yeah.
Hey, take it where you can get it, man.
And the reason why I think that we can sit here and wear this, and again, we didn't play in the game, but the reason why I don't think that it should weigh on the players all that much, and the reason I know I'm not worried about it, is because, again, it's game 2 in April. Couple that with the fact that this is a very good baseball team. Like, I have no doubt in my mind that the bats are going to wake up. And you've seen the starting pitching for 3 games already. It's lights out. So,
this is the first 3 games of the season. Not worried. Not worried at all.
Yeah.
April baseball, this is – please, come on now.
Oh, man, the YouTube stopped working for me right when I was about to read Chad's comment. Chad said, no more day games. Well, Chad, I got news for you, buddy. A week from Thursday, April 19th, 11:05 a.m., Education Day here at Toyota Field. So we got we have a day game next week.
We've got 12 on the schedule total if you count Sundays too. So
yeah. But, I mean, like, we have a legit day game. Like, that 4:05 is, like, late afternoon. I get it. Still daytime. It's not 6. But we have, like, an 11 a.m. game next Thursday. And then we have another one in May. And then we have another one in September. So we have 3 11:05 game times.
Yo, that's coming up on Tuesday, too. If you want to come check out a day game, if you want to skip.
It's Wednesday. Sorry. I said
Wednesday,
Thursday.
my bad.
You said Tuesday.
Tuesday's the start of the homestand. Wednesday's our day game, April 19th. First pitch, 11:05. What's up? You coming? We got an in studio audience today.
Is he coming in?
April 19th, day game, 11:05. If you want to skip work, just like Joel is right here, you can skip work and go to a baseball game at the same time. You in for that one?
Let's go.
Yeah?
Let's go. I'm in. I'm all in. Let's go.
All right, one ticket is already sold for that day game, and many others are already out there. So I'd suggest going to trashpantsbaseball.com. Get your fake doctor's note ready. You can Google image that almost immediately.
I'm actually a doctor.
Oh, perfect. All right, so come on down to the ballpark between 2 and 4 today. We'll be handing out fake sick notes, so you can come on out here and hang out with us on Wednesday.
I don't think he even knows what he fully agreed to. Also, he said he was in. So Ricky and I, we go running every single morning out there at Big Spring Park, 5 a.m. He'll be there with us tomorrow morning. If you want to run with us and a doctor,
Yeah,
5 a.m. sharp.
That's usually what time I'm already in the shower.
Okay. Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah. If you want to run with a real doctor, show up 4:30. We'll be there at 5.
Thank you, Dr. Lamp. I appreciate your contribution.
It's great to see you.
Great to see you as well.
I thought this was the bathroom. I apologize.
Oh,
Couple more doors over. Yep.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yep. Just open doors so you see a toilet.
and preferably hold it till you do, too.
There you go. Friend of the show, Dr. Joel Lamp.
Is he actually a
Huntsville
doctor?
Convention Visitors Bureau there, Huntsville CVB.
So is he an actual doctor?
I don't believe he's.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to ask him for the paperwork though.
Yeah, I don't think I will either. Let's see.
He diagnosed me with tendonitis last week, which is starting to make me. Now I'm starting to think maybe I should get a second opinion.
All right, so now that we've gone through that a little bit, let's go hit up the comment section and see what we got. Virgil started this whole thing with this comment was hit by a pitch.
Yo,
See,
dude, look.
That's the don't like. Hey,
Oh, I know, right? Virgil, really? Come on, man.
if you're a player and you
kidding
hear
me?
that, don't come beat me up. It's Virgil.
Virgil Brooks is the guy you're looking for.
And he's here a lot. So Robert says, hey, guys, what's up, Robert? Thanks for jumping in here, man. We appreciate it. We have more people than we normally do watching because, of course, what happened this weekend.
Because it's baseball season. Duh, because it's a hot commodity out here. Tyler Berry getting in here. He said, make me the manager. All right, I want this lineup.
Yeah.
I want these guys out there. I want Aguilar off the development list.
I want crisp. Yeah, we do too.
Hey, I suggest giving a call straight to L.A., Let them know what you think. Write a letter. Write a letter out there.
Austin says, good afternoon, guys. Had so much fun Saturday at the Trash Pandas baseball game. Thank God that the second game went the way that it went because it made it went quick. It was a great game. It was a great we absolutely deserve that. I'm glad that they went in the order that they did, that the disaster happened the first game. The guys were able to go out there and make up for it and get a win for
If you're going to go viral for a box score, do it in game 1.
Yeah, for sure.
Yo, look at this, dude. Remember Kenyon Yovan's mom was in the comments the other day, and she leaked that he was going to be on the Trash Pandas. We dropped that exclusive Bullpen news right here. That's right, exclusive. You heard it here first. Now Papa Yovan's getting in the chat. Look at that.
Daddy Yovan.
He said, what's up from Kenyon's dad? Look at the whole family's into this.
Daddy Yovan, man. Welcome in.
What's up, dude?
I don't know if you're I had one of the Yovan family DM me on Twitter. I think.
Okay.
You can put anything if you want to in your name on Twitter. It could have just been a Yovan fan, but they corrected me on the pronunciation. It's not Yovan, it's Yovan. I love the Oregon shirt, by the way. The Yo dash and then a van.
Yeah.
We're in the middle of we're working on some stuff.
Looking at a truck in between our van, right around the $750 to $800 budget range.
We'll get an actual Yovan here.
We're gonna wrap that bad boy up. We're gonna drive around town. I don't know, maybe.
We saw him in game 1. Yovan's got some stuff. If Yovan continues to have some stuff, then maybe that budget opens up a little bit for us so we can get that Yovan.
And then maybe we get him to ride with us one day. We can drive down to one of those little things that checks your speed, like by the side of the road. No, like the ones they got on the road. Like you drive by and it's like, you're going too fast. We can recreate that scene from The Rookie. Remember that movie?
I don't remember this part. No,
oh, my God. It was the most important part of the whole movie.
I don't like that.
Remember when I don't like it either. I mean, I watched it once. It was,
I've only seen it once, and I don't remember that part.
All right, man. So, look, Dennis Quaid's trying to be a baseball player, right?
Yes, I know that.
But he's like a dad, and he's like, he's not ready for this. Like, he's not doing the typical route.
He's the dad of the kid from 2.5 Men.
So you know that part.
Yeah, I know he's in it.
Unbelievable. Anyways, so I like how you know the casting of the movie, but not the scene that was in all the trailers and the anyway, whatever.
This movie's got to be 20 years old.
So what? 20? How? You ever watched Star Wars?
Yeah, but I've seen it a lot.
Yeah. You remember that Darth Vader was his dad?
Yeah, I've seen
that
it.
happened a long time ago too.
But I've seen it a lot.
Anyway, so the rookie, they go out there to that speed thing on the side of the road because this guy's he's not cut from the same cloth as all these other prospects. He's a grown man. Yeah. He's got kids.
He's got a mortgage.
He's got a mortgage, man. And so he's got to see, do I still got it in this old chicken wing right here? So he finds one of those little speed things and he wings it, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And then he sees it and he's like, oh, that's not fast enough. I don't have what it takes. And that little light flickers a little bit and you realize, oh, wait. I'm hucking gas. I think I'm going to go try to be a pitcher for the Tampa Bay Devil Rays.
So you want to go recreate that, but with a van?
Yeah, but we drive there in a van. Yeah. So,
if anybody knows anything about hooking us up, like he said, $750, $800 range.
Yeah.
We're looking to lease it for about 10 years.
Yeah, we want a payment package on that one.
Yeah, I want
just roll over the interest.
About $5.99 a month, I'm good with.
If we could roll that into a Roth IRA, that ought to take care of most of the heavy lifting.
It's funny. I like laughing at stuff when I don't understand what
I like saying things I don't understand, but I know are real things.
Oh, let's see what else we got down here. JB says, "What's the new stadium song this year? Missing Me Some Bones." I'll be honest. I've been so awake. We've had so many things going on with opening day going on up here. We had a lot going on, and then with the doubleheader, I don't think I heard it.
I don't remember what the song is either because I was looking at the video board during the pregame of opening day, and there was this epic video with all these cuts and drone shots and action shots from games and this real cool voiceover, and it was like, and now the Pandas open their seat. It's got like that whole like right before the national championship kind of thing. And then he goes, and you get to see all the heroics, the fun, the this, the that. And every word has a new clip that goes behind it. And then eventually they're like, the heroics, the fun, the foolish. And for the foolish, a clip of me pops up there, and I'm doing some dance behind second. I'm like, I'm doing this for 4 seconds. They're like, the heroic, the fun, the foolish, the fan. And I'm like, well, what the? How did I get it, man? So I don't know what the music was. I was too busy being.
Well, if they had enough time, instead of you know what we should do the rest of the season? Just edit out that clip of you for the foolish, and then put the clip of you in the hot dog costume shooting the hot dog gun, and then not doing anything.
I know. I lived right up to the opening video, just like an hour later.
Oh man. Carl on Twitter says, "Bring back Tiny Riot."
This is the second tweet in 3 days from Carl about he's leading the charge, which I've heard that multiple times. People are like, "Where's the song from last year? Mm-hmm. We won't it," which is what I heard the year before we started playing Tiny Riot, whatever the song was that year before. Everyone's like, "Where's the old song, man? We need it." And everyone fell in love with the new song. So all I'm asking is wait until you hear the new song. You might fall in love with it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Bones was good last year.
This has happened from year to year. Everyone wants the new one or the old one till they hear the new one. So just give me one more homestand, and then if we still got, people throwing garbage and bottles at us saying bring back Tiny Riot, starting a Tiny Riot over Tiny Riot, then we'll think about it.
Is this Aurora Lay or Aurora League? What would you say?
Aurora Lie.
Aurora Lie. Well, it's a beautiful name. Aurora
cool,
Borden gets in and says, greatest show of effort. And then she says that movie, talking about the rookie, was about an actual teacher turned MLB player.
Right. Dennis Quaid was teaching history at the time. And then he not only was like, I'm going to become an actor, but then I'm going to pitch in the major leagues. And he accomplished both. Man.
It's crazy what you can accomplish when you're in a movie. Dennis Quaid, he accomplished being a professional baseball player. And his son accomplished being the nephew of Charlie Sheen in a new show after that movie. So.
Are you still talking about the kid from?
Yeah, that's his son.
It's
his son in the movie. I actually
go watch The Rookie.
It's funny you bring that up. So my TikTok
has
basically just turned into clips of movies. Yeah. Last week I saw nothing but clips of Moneyball. And Moneyball's a good movie, but I was tired of seeing those clips. And then a clip of The Rookie popped up, and it was the clip at the end when he gets the call up.
Yeah.
And they tell him. My favorite part is the manager shows like no emotion. He's telling him, he's like, I want you to be the one to tell such and such that they're going up. And he's like, oh, okay. So, I figured you'd be the one to tell him since you're going with him. And he's like, I'm going to be a major leaguer. He's like, where am I going? And he's just looking at him like, there's no emotion. Like, he's not like, this is a great moment. Just, yeah. It bothered me so much.
Yeah.
It was a touching moment, though. And then he got on the phone to call his family, and I'm like, oh, my God, it's a kid from 2.5 Men. It's Jake.
I regret bringing it up now. I wish I would have just used a different example.
Robert says, man, I wish Paradise City by Guns N' Roses was still the stadium, or was the stadium song. It's a good one.
Yeah, for sure.
Paradise City's a good
So,
song.
hey, good song, no doubt.
But I want to go back to this person's name, Aurora Lie. Jen and I,
Sick name.
when we were talking about, or when we were pregnant with Oliver, we had talked, discussed what we would want to name if it was a girl.
Mm-hmm.
And Aurora was a name that Jim was in love with, and I loved it, but we had to squash that because I can't say it without sounding like I have a mouthful of rocks. So if you ever do comment again, that's look. See you, Dr. Joel.
Was that Dr. Joel back in?
It was.
Hey, thank y'all for.
You got it.
I just want to stop by and say bye.
Adios. All right.
4:30. See you in the morning.
4:30.
I think he left his stethoscope on the scene. We'll have to go check that.
But yeah, man, I can't say Aurora very well. I have to really try to enunciate it. It just comes out Aurora. It comes off very jumbled. So
Go ahead, try it again.
Aurora.
All right, it does.
Aurora.
Aurora.
I can't. Aurora. See, I have to really
that's
enunciate
good.
it. But you can't enunciate it all the time. Like, they're going to get into stuff that you have to
How
get
would
on
you-
to. Aurora, hey, Aurora. Get out of there.
Pretend Aurora Lie Borden was playing first base for us, and you had to announce her before her at bat. How would that sound?
What number?
17.
What position she playing?
First base.
All right. Have to get me character.
Okay.
Now batting for the Trash Pandas. First baseman number 17, Aurora Lie Borden. I see I can do that one pretty good. In the announcer voice, I got it.
That didn't get me jacked up, though.
But
Didn't make me
I don't
excited
wanna
to see
I don't
it.
want to yell while we're in here.
Well, I was kind of hoping you would.
No, definitely not. Windows closed. It's gonna.
This kind of reminds me of that scene from The Rookie when he went to go to that little miles per hour speed reader thing,
Mm-hmm.
and then when it flickered the speed, like it showed the first speed, and it wasn't very good, but
Mm-hmm.
then it flickered, and then it turned out it was real good. What you did right there was kind of like before it flickered to show that it was good. Like you saw it, and you were like, oh, all right.
When it flickered the first time, his son was like, "Man, I wish you were more like Charlie Sheen."
I wish I had another and a half dad. Or no, he was the half man, right? I wish I had two dads.
And then he got him.
Oh.
And then he got him.
I wish I had two dads. I don't care if any of them play baseball. And he ran away.
Daddy Yovan said, "Yeah, Tony, that was me that sent you the picture of the Yovan. The Yovan's sick. The Yovan. I'll have to show Ricky. I've had a lot of tweets since then because of what happened to us on Saturday.
Does he drive a van? Because
he's
we're
pretty
missing
sick.
branding opportunities. This is the most lucrative endorsement era in sports we've ever lived in. If your boy's not driving a van, yeah, he needs a sick van. Flames, maybe like cool sound system, kind of an old school looking one, like a 70s van. That's gonna get you some little bit of that in the pocketbook right there. I'll be, brand manager if he needs a guy in his camp or whatever. But I think we could do something with
We
this.
always do some cool stuff for like big notable players for the Trash Pandas, right? Like Eric Torres, he got an award.
We could drive
We've
that
got-
van onto the field.
Yeah. I'm telling you, like a big, have him show up in a couple big moments, or have a really great season, because like we've had Ohapi, who was here for like only like 29 games.
Uh-huh.
He had a lot of dingers. He's getting a bobblehead, right? I mean, we've had other guys that like Bryce Teodosio with the amazing catch and the inside the park home run. He gets a bobblehead. Yovan shows up and does a couple good things for us. Like he showed some good stuff for us on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying, man, we might be able to work out a Yovan.
Party van. Maybe we put it in the outfield. Maybe we shoot fireworks out of it. I don't know.
That'd be
After it breaks down, because it will break down.
Probably
according
on
to
the way
budget.
here.
Yeah, it's not going to last long. But just like the rookie, he wasn't. His rookie year was was also his final year. It wasn't about the longevity; it was about the time we had.
How many other sports movies do we have where it's like old people going back out to do something? Like it's like they're good for their age, but they're also still kind of good.
80 for Brady.
I think
I
they
see a lot of
actually
commercials for that. I think that
play- I
applies.
think they actually play. What was the movie where Mark Wahlberg played that special teams guy?
Invincible.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You ever seen
Wasn't
the
he on-
Philadelphia field goal kicking garbage throw? No, the garbage.
Tony Danza?
Yeah. The garbage picking field goal kicking Philadelphia phenomenon starring Tony Danza,
Yeah.
which is available on Disney Plus.
It is?
Because I looked. Yeah. He was just a garbage man, but then he would kick garbage into his trash truck, and he kicked it so good that he caught the eye of the Philadelphia Eagles. That's probably the best example.
What's more absurd, that or the Rookie of the Year?
It's definitely the Tony Danza.
The Rookie of the Year
one,
where the kid breaks his arm and can throw 110
Oh,
miles
I
an
thought
hour.
you meant the rookie.
No, the Rookie of the Year.
Sorry.
With the guy who went on to be one of the guys in American Pie.
Right. Break. I don't think that's crazy at all. Elbow injury, then you recover and you become a better pitcher. That's happened with
Become a
several
better
guys
pitcher?
who have got Tommy John.
He was a terrible right fielder, and then all of a sudden he could throw 110 miles an hour. He wasn't a pitcher.
Some guys don't have it. All right, they never get to where they think they should be. Then they have an elbow injury. They get in there, they tighten it up, they do whatever, they come back. They're throwing like they've never thrown before. That's happened before.
We just need more realistic sports stories like
A man who kicks garbage so accurately that he doesn't even have to gauge the weight, distance, or shape of the garbage. It's always bucket.
It's far-fetched, right?
That's crazy.
That's what I'm saying. We need more realistic sports movies based on true events. Like the realistic stuff, like, again, The Rookie, Remember the Titans, basketball, real movies.
Right. Well,
Real sports movies.
No, I disagree, though. I want more movies where I'm like, that doesn't make sense.
I think you wouldn't like
but I'm here
basketball.
for it.
You wouldn't like basketball. Though.
Yeah, a little too real. Too much realism.
Too-
Did
too-
Christopher Nolan direct that one?
Michael Bay, a lot of explosions.
Oh, okay. That's right. Good flick. I think Tarantino did The Rookie.
It would have been a lot different.
Oh, Tarantino's The Rookie?
It really would have been 2.5 Men in there somewhere. Somebody would have been sawed in half.
Buddy, that's the flick we need.
A Tarantino baseball movie?
Yeah, I mean, if we're going to reboot a movie, let's reboot The Rookie. Tarantino.
You know what? It doesn't even have to be a reboot. If Tarantino just wanted to direct a sports movie, I'm in. Let's do it.
Mm-hmm. Get rid of Dennis Quaid. Mm-hmm. Put in John Travolta.
But if he wants to do a remake, I'd just let him remake Major League.
Yeah. Tarantino's Major League?
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, dude.
Major League 3. Return to the Minors. You ever seen that one?
No.
You hadn't seen that one?
No.
Oh.
Rick Vaughn would literally start knocking people's heads off in the Tarantino.
Yeah,
one.
Charlie Sheen didn't agree to be in that movie.
Yeah, probably nobody did.
They played for the Buzz. That was their team name, which is oddly similar to the Salt Lake Bees, our AAA affiliate. Played for the Buzz.
Oh man, was anybody the original cast in the third one?
You remember that catcher that was garbage in the second movie?
Mm-hmm.
The backup. He's the main catcher. And then
good for him.
what was the Japanese guy's name?
Don't remember.
He was in it. I think Dorn was in it.
Was he?
Maybe.
No Wesley Snipes. He didn't.
And then the manager of the team was Scott Bakula from Quantum Leap.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah.
think he was on one of those NCISs, maybe New Orleans,
Scott Bakula. I know who Scott Bakula is.
or one of those CBS crime dramas.
All right. Well,
And in the comments say they found a minivan for sale for about $8,900 in Boaz. Yeah, if you could cut that down about 90%, we're in.
yeah.
Work them down a little bit for us.
Any way I can get a 10-year loan for that?
I'll go up to $900, but don't tell him that.
I'll give you 140 payments of $10 a month. How about that? 140
Does
months.
that add up?
I don't think so. I was really, really just throwing some numbers together.
I don't even need to do the math. I'll sign off on it right now.
Let's go.
All right, cool.
So, again, just to recap what happened, and then we'll move on. Saturday was insane for us here, insane for the players here. They threw a game, again, 7-inning no-hitter, to my knowledge, the last time I saw, which was 2021, doesn't count as a no-hitter. It is a 7-inning game, a 7-inning no-hit game. Because, remember, Madison Bumgarner threw a no-hitter, and it didn't count. I think it was against the Braves.
It was.
And it didn't count as a no-hitter. It was just 7 no-hit innings. So, Pedro Serrano was in the third one. Thank you, Virgil.
Forgot about him.
Yeah. So the Trash Pandas, they dropped game one even though they gave up no hits and still allowed 7 runs. Again, how that happened, you talk about Ben Joyce comes in, walks 4 guys. There was a wild pitch, a missed strike 3, which was so egregious. Jeremiah Jackson had an error in center field, And then Eric Torres, the 2022 Southern League Reliever of the Year, comes in, plunks 4 guys, walks another, and then strikes out the 3rd guy. And Trash Pandas, hey, there was some fight there at the end, though. It wasn't like they came out and just gave up. They did score 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th inning to make it 7-5.
Yeah, we're going into this Birmingham series hot.
Yeah.
No doubt. Real hot.
Pitching again, the pitching staff is something to really, really like. And once those bats wake up, this team will be the force that we all thought to be reckoned with, in my opinion. But there were other sporting events. Ricky, as you didn't find out until about 5 p.m. yesterday, the Masters happened last night, and it was everybody in the South was impacted by weather. I mean, you had the 2nd and the 3rd rounds getting delayed over there, so they started the remainder of the 3rd round on Saturday or on Sunday morning at like 8:30, and then we finally got to start the final round, which the final pairing finally teed off like close to 2 o'clock. So it was a long day of golf. We finally turned it on right when the final pairing teed off. So I watched the whole final pairing, the end there, and it was a lot of fun. It was a strong final pairing, and people that ended up being in the mix there at the end, because it's all golfers I really enjoy to watch. Like whether he plays for the LIV or in the PGA, as long as he plays in the majors, those are really the only 4 tournaments I watch every year anyway. I love watching Brooks Koepka play. I love watching Jon Rahm play. Jon Rahm looks like he's like 36 years old. He's 28. He's not even 30. He's 28 years old. And he's a phenomenal golfer. I love watching him play. I love watching Jordan Spieth. When Jordan Spieth's at the playing good golf, he is so much fun to watch. And then Phil Mickelson. Grew up watching Phil Mickelson play golf. And those 4 dudes made a show yesterday.
Dude, evil Phil Mickelson cracks me up.
He's gone full heel.
I love watching Hollywood Phil Mickelson go out there, leave his dark shades on the whole time, wearing all black, and hitting his only 65 ever at the Masters. What a round by Phil. What a back 9. He had a 31, I think. Just such a good round.
It was an absurd. Between he and Jordan Spieth, that was their pairing. There was like 16 birdies or something between those two in just that pairing. It was ridiculous.
I don't think a single person cared about that LIV PGA thing out there, though. It like, I don't even know who's on the tour and who's not anymore. I don't know if anyone can, except for Phil, because Phil's just full on a new person now.
Not only did I had to Google, I Googled several times if Jon Rahm was in the PGA or not. That's how many times I kept forgetting.
Yeah.
Like I kept forgetting whether he was in the LIV or not. I Googled it several times. But Brooks Koepka fell apart in that final round. Jon Rahm did just enough. He had a couple of really nice holes. Other than that, I don't think he played great. He played like 2 really good holes. And then outside of that, he held on. Jordan Spieth played phenomenal. Phil Mickelson played phenomenal. And it turned out to be pretty good. I was pulling for Jon Rahm or Brooks Koepka, either one of those guys. So the final pairing, for the first time, I really did not care who won. I was pulling for both of them. And then at the end, it's just so funny how Jon Rahm got there, because he opened the Masters all the way back on Thursday with a 4-putt double bogey to start the Masters. And he told that story at the end, too. And I love how he name-dropped and everything. He got up there at the podium, and he was like, a famous, really good friend of mine, and I will name-drop him here because he's a Super Bowl champion. He said, Zach Ertz texted me, and he said something along the lines of like, hey, man, the first green's wide open today. About 10 minutes before I 4-putted for a double. And we can laugh at it now. But I've never seen that. Jon Rahm opened his round, opened the tournament with a 4-putt double, and then his last hole he had to hit a provisional ball because like his other one barely made it to the fairway or whatever. He had to hit a provisional one.
What is a provisional ball?
It's basically like a penalty mulligan almost, is how it was explained to me. Like he got to hit another drive, but with a penalty. Like it cost him a stroke. So
I thought that was a special ball.
They called it a provisional ball, and essentially what it turned into was he hit a second drive, and that was shot number 2.
He has to hit the provisional ball. Bring out the shot put. No.
Was it like the money ball in the 3-point contest? Just a different color golf ball.
It's gonna slice or hook. We don't know.
Can I get they different color golf balls? I want a golf ball colored like the money ball.
Like the money ball, like in the 3-point contest?
Yeah.
I think you can do that maybe with Fred Couples was hitting a yellow ball this weekend, which I thought was interesting. I didn't know you could hit a ball that wasn't white.
Is he? Is Fred still playing for real, or is he in like the senior tour or whatever?
Well, I mean, Fred's been out of the competitive game for a while, but I mean, he always plays the Masters because he's a champion.
Right.
And he always does like pretty good.
I think that they can. I think they can. I don't know. Well, I mean, they obviously could. He did.
Well, I mean, yeah, I know that now, but I thought it might have been the provisional ball.
Ooh, the provisional.
Dear
Dun dun dun.
Not the provisional ball.
Bum, bum, ba, da.
Some guy lifts a black sheet up. Oh. The provisional ball.
4 dudes escorted in one box with a ball in it.
It's like that extra scene or the sudden death from Dodgeball. Just got a skull and crossbones.
So what do you think about that? That'd be a cool golf ball too. Skull and crossbones on the ball.
That would be pirate ball. Feels like
So-
John Daly.
Pirate ball sounds like a type of golf. So would
What,
John?
what would be the rules for pirate ball?
I don't know. I would love to flesh those out. I have no clue.
No depth perception. You got to play with one eye closed.
Yeah, eye patch. Yeah, I have to have an eye patch.
Yeah. That'd be a challenging round.
That would be. You
They'll start doing that on the live tour here soon, I bet.
You either you get to choose, or you alternate. You either get to choose or alternate. You decide. You either play with an eye patch or on one leg.
I'm not going to play on one leg. That's how you get hurt.
Well, then you alternate. You alternate. Well, you play one hole with eye patch, one on one leg.
How am I supposed to swing a club with one leg? Did you see Tiger out there? He was practically on one leg.
Tiger
And
got-
it looked brutal.
Tiger withdrew with plantar fasciitis.
Dude, Tiger's beat up, man. I saw a story that said he played around once with a screw sticking out of his skin.
Dude, that U.S. Open that he won back in 2008, he was, after every shot, they said, like, you can hear his bones rubbing against each other, and he went on to win.
That was in
That's
08.
not the same Tiger anymore, man. This guy, I mean, he's old. It's not just that he's getting older, but things are happening to him that aren't helping, like the big
He
bad car
almost
crash.
died in a car wreck.
Right. So all these things are
Like-
happening, but did you see the videos of him walking out there? I mean, it was rough to watch. Like he's under an umbrella trying to walk to his ball, just barely moving. It was tough to see.
It was brutal, man.
It was tough to see. But I want to know this. I want to go back to John Rahm's whole speech with calling out Zach Ertz and everything. I think we both would if we knew somebody famous now. Like if we were friends with someone that's famous and we're not famous, we'd probably name drop them to somebody, right?
All the time.
But if you are famous like John Rahm, would you name drop other famous people?
Yeah. You kidding me? You think Zach Ertz didn't love that?
Yeah.
He got his
I'm just
name
curious.
dropped in the Masters championship winning speech.
I agree. I'm on
Sign
your
me
side, by
up.
the way. I think I would too.
Oh my gosh!
just-
I would name drop people that didn't even have anything. I would just name drop a person just to do it. Like if I was John Rahm and I won the game, I'd be like, "Man, tough start on the first hole. I 4-putted, but then I realized, I thought back of one of my favorite movies, starring Tony Danza, and life didn't get off the way he started too. He had aspirations of being this, and it turned out he went to the waste management side of his life, and he made the most of it. And eventually, he reached his goals. And that's something I thought about, on that first green. I said, this is, I'm playing like garbage, but it doesn't mean I have to be surrounded by it my whole life.
Sometimes to get to where you want to be, you have to kick a lot of garbage. And for Tony Danza, his garbage was literal garbage. He kicked literal garbage. My garbage was 4-putting hole 1.
And I think if you're a trash panda right now, and anybody on the team, you had a rough game, you went viral because of the box score, not for a positive reason. But look at John Rahm.
That's right.
John Rahm 4-putted the first hole of a major he eventually won. Championships are not won in April. That's right. All right? There are still 6 months left to this season. The Pandas are John Rahm.
That's right. Again, Tony Danza had to kick a lot of literal garbage to get where he needed to be in that movie. The Trash Pandas, they kicked a lot of garbage in the 7th inning of Game 1, but luckily for us, we have a mascot that eats that garbage.
That's right.
All right, and that mascot ate that garbage, and it cleared us up for a 1-hit, 3-0 shutout victory in Game 2.
Mm-hmm. That's
The
right.
moral of the story is kick the garbage or get a mascot that eats the garbage. I lost the moral.
No,
But you get what I'm
you were
saying.
close, but you screwed it up there at the end, no doubt. But I was feeling it. Well put. Kind of.
Oh man. So you're name dropping then.
I would, dude. Yes, all the time. I mean, I would. You imagine
What's-
John Rahm saying that? I just really want to thank Tony Danza. That great movie he made.
What obscure? So Tony Danza, I guess,
I want
would
to
be one of
thank.
them.
Hand me that.
My phone?
No.
Oh,
If it wasn't, I don't know if I would be working here with the Trash Pans if it wasn't for that time I met Gallagher in 2017 and he stole my wig. That's the only name drop I could do.
If it wasn't, I just don't know where I would be if I wasn't present when Gallagher committed petty theft of my own personal belongings and offended the entire Tennessee Valley area that was listening that morning.
And I learned that day, not all the rolls are going to go your way. Life's not fair. Sometimes you get a gift while something is also taken away from you. We were gifted a victory while one was taken away from us by the umpire.
That's right.
Life lessons, Tony Mack. That's what you get from days like we had on Saturday.
What obscure, other than Tony Danza, are obscure famous actors or famous people are you going to try to meet using your celebrity if you were famous? Because I feel like you're not going to go for the big eight. You're going to go for
Tom
the ones you
Skerritt.
like.
Remember him? He was Tom Cruise's superior in Top Gun. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
America.
Is he even still alive?
I don't know.
We'll have to
Look him
look
up.
it up.
Tom Skerritt gets work, dude. I think there was a Family Guy episode that went off about him. Is he alive?
He is. He's 89 years old.
Tom Skerritt. I'm coming for him. I'm coming from the grumpy superior in Top Gun. Didn't see that one coming, did you?
What's funny is I know you enough by now to where you're able to pull something off the top of your head, but why was that the first thing to come to your head was Tom Skerritt from Top Gun?
That's just what popped in my head. You asked me a question and I answered it. What would you do?
Probably Hector Alessandro. Yeah.
I know that guy.
Yeah, he's the guy that plays the doorman in most movies at fancy hotels, and you know him because he did the PSA on the radio station for the entire time you were there. They ran the same PSA for 8 years of Hector Alessandro. But it's me, Hector Alessandro.
Hello, I'm Hector Elizondo.
And he's riding the horse.
Yeah, wasn't it like something for like what was that PSA about?
I don't remember, dude, but I know the horse got like crazy on him and ran away. He was like, whoa!
Was it foot and mouth disease? Was that what he was doing?
No,
I don't know.
I might have to
Tom
look it up.
Skerritt would have never took a role like that. He's got too much. He's got too much pride in his work.
What's this?
I don't think Tom Skerritt.
Hector Elizondo, is that his name?
Yeah. No. Victor. Nah, I don't know. I know you're talking about. I can hear his voice though.
Yeah.
He was on some shows too. I don't know which ones. He's on some good ones.
Yeah, he's
I
on
can
one
see
with
his face.
He's on one of the ones with Tim Allen.
Hey, it's Beatles in the comment section. We cannot, or it's Besties, excuse me. We cannot post full Trash Panda games on YouTube. We can't do it.
No, we cannot.
I told you
Sorry
last
about
episode we can't do it.
Yeah.
It's like a huge copyright issue or something. But you might be able to with a MILB.com membership. Look into that, all right? Now, I understand that you took the bad news I gave you last podcast, and now you're trying to turn it into a positive. But there will not be a positive in this situation unless you try to get an MILB.
Yeah.
MILB TV carries live and archived games for less than $5 a month.
There you go.
It's in the comments right there, buddy.
You can go back and watch the
It's
games.
right there. You've
MILB.
been faced adversity, but there is a way around it. You just have to like literally take the directions you're hearing and seeing and put them into motion. That's all you got to do. Did you figure out the Hector Elizondo thing?
No, I gave up really fast.
Goodness gracious. You have no idea. No leads?
I'll look it up here when we're done.
Cool.
My internet's going in and out up here. I'm not plugged in, so it's going in and out.
Okay.
So, but I'll get that answer for you for Wednesday. And
No,
coming up, do you
no
want
better cliffhanger to end the show on, like some Hector Elizondo news. Perfect.
So on Wednesday, or do you want to kick this to Friday, or maybe even next week? But we need to take our time with this. Now that rosters and stuff are out, we've got 3 games in. We got to do our Southern League all-name team.
Put some rosters together. Let's look at it. Let's look at it tomorrow, and by Wednesday we should be able to put something together. I mean, there's 8 teams. It's not that.
But food, you do yours, I do mine, or you want to do it together? I'm down to do it together.
We should probably do it together. Like I said, there's 8 teams.
Yeah.
There's probably only one good team of names we can pick from.
All right. We'll have our Southern League All-Name team as well. I'm Tony Mack. That is Tricky Ricky. We are live on YouTube from 2 to 3 most Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. If you do miss us, anywhere that you get your podcasts, just search Trash Pandas Podcast Network, and then you will see us listed under there as the Bullpen. This episode will be up later today. If you missed some of it and you want to go back and catch the rest of it, if you are listening now on the podcast, thank you guys so much for downloading it. We see the downloads and the listens go up just about every week now, episode to episode. We are starting to grow a little bit in the listener column. So thank you guys so much. We really appreciate it. And we will be back with you on Wednesday. Once again, I'm Tony Mack. That's Tricky Ricky. This has been the Bullpen. Now go kick your garbage down the road or something and let it turn into flowers.
He was in Pretty Woman.
Yeah, he was the doorman in Pretty Woman.
Yeah.
I think he may have been he's in something. He's a doorman in like another prevalent movie too. Can't think of it, but Family Guy's made fun of him for it and everything. I want to know what the PSA is, though, that he did. Because he's riding he's like, he brings up, I'm that actor, Hector Elizondo, and he's riding some horse. I can't remember the name of the horse.
Next time on the Bullpen, will we know other roles that Hector Elizondo has ever played? What was that horse? And for good gracious, what on earth is he trying to give the public as a service? All of these answers will be yours next time